The ancient law was carved in stone at the entrance of every pack house across the territory. No alpha may take a mate from the cursed bloodline. The words had haunted Sophia Chen since the day she learned to read, etched not just in granite, but in her very soul. Standing in the moonlit clearing behind her small cabin, Sophia wrapped her arms around herself, as the evening breeze carried the scent of pine and wild honey through the air. 24 years old, and she had never been kissed, never been courted, never been seen as anything more than the daughter of a bloodline that had brought shame to the supernatural world. Her great-grandmother had been a witch, who fell in love with a werewolf. Their forbidden union had created something new, something that the old pack leaders feared. Sophia's family carried both wolf and witch blood, making them powerful but perpetually outcast. The curse wasn't magic, it was social exile disguised as ancient law. The sound of footsteps on fallen leaves made Sophia turn. Her heart immediately began to race, as a familiar figure emerged from the tree line. Even in the dim moonlight, she could make out the broad shoulders and confident stride that belonged to only one man. You shouldn't be here, Ethan, Sophia said softly, though her voice carried no real conviction. Ethan Blackwood stopped a few feet away from her, his golden eyes reflecting the moonlight like a predator's. As Alpha of the Crescent Moon Pack, he was the most powerful wolf in 3 territories. He was also the most forbidden person in her world. I know, he replied, his voice deep and rough around the edges. I've been telling myself that for months. Now, Sophia felt her chest tighten. For 6 months, Ethan had been finding excuses to visit her small corner of the territory. He came seeking her healing abilities, claiming his pack members needed her unique blend of herbal knowledge and intuitive magic. But they both knew that wasn't the real reason. The pack council met again yesterday, Sophia said, looking down at her hands. They're getting suspicious about your visits here. Ethan took a step closer, and Sophia caught his scent cedar and leather mixed with something wild that made her wolf restless. Let them be suspicious, he said quietly. I'm tired of pretending. I don't feel what I feel. Sophia's head snapped up. Don't say that. You know what happens if they find out. The ancient law, the ancient law is killing me, Ethan interrupted, his voice raw with emotion. Do you know what it's like to feel this pull toward someone, and know that the entire supernatural world would condemn you for it? Sophia's breath caught in her throat. She had felt the same pull, the same magnetic force that drew her to him, despite every rational thought telling her to stay away. But hearing him admit it out loud made her heart race with both hope and terror. Ethan, please, she whispered. You have a responsibility to your pack. You need to find a suitable mate, someone who can give you strong heirs and political alliances. Not someone like me. Someone like you. Ethan's voice carried a hint of anger. You mean someone brilliant? Someone who can heal wounds that our best pack doctors can't touch. Someone who makes me feel alive for the first time in my 30 years. Sophia felt tears prick at her eyes. Someone cursed, she said simply. Ethan moved closer. Close enough that Sophia could feel the heat radiating from his body. There's something I need to tell you, he said. Something I discovered when I was researching the ancient laws. Sophia looked up at him, her heart pounding. What do you mean? I've been digging through the old pack records, going back centuries, Ethan explained. The law about the cursed bloodline? It's not as absolute as everyone believes. Sophia's eyes widened. What are you saying? The original law had a clause, Ethan continued, his voice gaining strength. It said that no alpha may take a mate from the cursed bloodline unless that union would bring greater strength to the pack than any traditional pairing. Sophia felt her world tilt. But how could anyone prove that? Ethan reached into his jacket pocket and pulled out an old, leather-bound book. This is the original pack law book from 1847. I found it in the vault beneath the council chambers. The clause was deliberately omitted from the modern versions. Sophia's hands trembled as she took the book. The pages were yellowed with age, but the writing was clear. There, in faded ink, was the complete law including the clause that had been hidden for generations. Asterisk, why would they hide this? She whispered. Asterisk, because they were afraid, Ethan said. Afraid of what our bloodlines could create together. Your witch-wolf heritage combined with pure alpha bloodline. Our children would be the most powerful wolves in centuries. Asterisk, Sophia closed the book, her mind reeling. But even if this is true, even if the law allows for exceptions, the Pack Council will never accept it. They've spent too many years teaching everyone to fear my bloodline. Asterisk, Ethan took her hands in his, and Sophia felt the familiar spark of electricity that ran between them whenever they touched. Then we'll have to prove them wrong, he said. We'll have to show them that our bond makes the pack stronger, not weaker. Asterisk, how? Sophia asked, though her heart was already beginning to hope. Asterisk, the Harvest Moon Challenge, Ethan said. It's an ancient trial that hasn't been used in over a century. A potential alpha pair can challenge the Pack Council's authority by proving their worth through trials of strength, wisdom, and unity. Asterisk, Sophia had heard whispers of the Harvest Moon Challenge in old stories, but she had never imagined it could apply to her. The trials are dangerous, she said. And if we fail, ... Asterisk, if we fail, I'll step down as alpha, and we'll leave the territory together, Ethan said, without hesitation. But if we succeed, the pack will have to accept our bond as legitimate and beneficial. Asterisk, Sophia looked into his eyes, seeing the determination and love there for the first time in her life. She felt like she had a real choice. Not just to accept the limitations placed on her bloodline, but to fight for something better. The harvest moon is in 3 weeks, she said slowly. I know, Ethan replied. Which gives us time to prepare, time to train together, time to prove that we're stronger as a team than we ever were apart. Asterisk, Sophia felt something shift inside her, a spark of the same power that had made her ancestors so feared. What if you're wrong? She asked. What if I really am cursed? Asterisk, Ethan lifted her chin with his finger, forcing her to meet his gaze. Then I'll be cursed with you, he said simply. Because I'd rather spend my life fighting beside you than spend it safely without you. Asterisk, the words hung in the air between them, heavy with promise and possibility. Sophia felt her carefully constructed walls beginning to crumble. For years, she had protected herself by believing she was unworthy of love, but looking into Ethan's eyes, she saw herself reflected back as something precious and powerful. Asterisk, the pack won't make it easy, she warned. Asterisk, I'm counting on it, Ethan said with a slight smile. We'll show them that the cursed bloodline isn't a weakness to be hidden, it's a strength that's been suppressed for too long. Asterisk, Sophia took a deep breath, feeling the weight of generations of fear and shame beginning to lift from her shoulders. When do we start? Asterisk, now, Ethan said, pulling her into his arms. We start now, and we don't stop until everyone knows that some laws are meant to be challenged. Asterisk, as he held her close, Sophia felt the mate bond that had been simmering between them finally ignite into something bright and unbreakable. The ancient law said he was forbidden to love her, but ancient laws could be changed. And sometimes, the most powerful magic came from refusing to accept the limitations that others placed on your heart. Asterisk, under the light of the waning moon, 2 souls that had been kept apart by fear and tradition, finally came together, ready to rewrite the rules that had kept them separated. The forbidden had become the catalyst for revolution, and love had become the weapon that would change everything.